Do you want to build a sales funnel that actually converts in your business? In this video, I'm going to share my 7 tips for creating a sales funnel that actually works without all of the headaches. Ready? Let's dive in. What's good, everybody? Greg Hickman here with Systemly at system.ly. And on this channel, we share the latest strategies, tips, and tools to better systematize and automate your business for scale. If you're new here, totally recommend you click on that subscribe button, give that little notification bell a nudge so you don't miss another episode. Sales funnels. So a lot of times people think that sales funnels need to be really complex, and they really don't have to be, but you do need to follow a few specific rules so that they can be successful for you in your business. Now, this is video 1 of a series of videos where we're going to be diving deeper into sales funnels, marketing funnels, whatever you want to call them. The purpose is, how do you take someone that has never heard of you before and move them through a journey to becoming a client? That's what a sales funnel ultimately is going to do for you. And we want to make it as simple and seamless as possible so that you can optimize it, tweak it, and scale it for continued success. Tip number 1, think like your prospect. Here's the deal. You can dream up this cool funnel and all of this cool copy, but if you don't talk like your actual prospects and your clients, it's never gonna resonate with them. So what I recommend is to do some research, have conversations with existing clients, look at your sales calls that you're having. Look at the problems that people are saying that they have in different communities, like on Facebook and places like that. Really start to understand how your ideal prospect actually thinks. What keeps them up at night? What are they embarrassed to tell their family at the dinner table when they go home? Those are the sorts of things that you want to leverage in your marketing and your messaging to really have those prospects sitting there saying, wow, he's talking to me. That's what we need. We want all of your prospects to sit there and say, wow, he's in my head or she's in my head. In order to do that, you really need to start thinking like your ideal prospect and speaking like them too. Tip number 2 is to break your entire sales funnel down into mini outcomes or mini goals. Clearly defined goals, right? From someone who is a complete stranger, who you want to end up to be a paying client, there's probably multiple steps along that journey that they need to take to become a paying client. Am I right? So I want you to break down each of those steps into a clearly defined goal. For example, if you have a Facebook ad that drives into a webinar, whether it's live or on demand, it doesn't matter, that registration is the first milestone. So you want to be able to successfully take someone from your Facebook ad to a webinar registrant. Mini outcome number 1. Now that they're registered, you want them to attend the webinar, right? So they can get all the value that you're giving on that presentation. Mini goal number 2 is attendance. Did they attend or did they not attend? Step 3 or goal 3 would be, did they take the action that you asked for on the webinar? Maybe you were driving into a consultation or inviting them to a strategy session. Did they apply? Did they schedule a consultation? That's the next outcome. Then from there, do they show up for the sales call, for the strategy session? That's another outcome. And then finally, did they buy? That's the final outcome. So you can see that from Facebook ad to paying client, there's mini goals along the way that allow us to track their progress. That brings us to tip number 3, which is to track the mini goals, track those mini outcomes. If you have 5 steps across your entire client journey, you're really looking for 5 specific different touch points. How well are you getting someone from a Facebook ad onto your webinar? How well are you getting them from the webinar into scheduling a call, and from call to close, etc.? When you've broken down your entire sales process into mini steps, you've identified the exact metrics that you need to track to understand how successful you are in getting someone from Facebook ad all the way to client, or from stranger to paying client. Make sense? Tip number 4 is to implement with a system. Look, whether it's you or someone else building your sales funnel, you need to have someone working with a standardized and repeatable system when it comes to implementation. So that when you look at your sales funnel 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, that you still understand and can really interpret what's happening in that funnel. I like to think of it as a language, right? You're always going to use the same campaign naming methods, tag naming methodologies and frameworks. If you always use those same things and then you hand that over to anyone that ever implements in your business, all of your campaigns will always be implemented exactly the same with the same standards that allow you or anyone on your team to refer back to the documentation and actually know what's going on in your sales funnel. Tip number 5 is to launch and wait. That's it. Wait, give it some time. You need to wait enough time for leads to start coming into your sales funnel so that you have enough data to make educated decisions on where to go next. Because we built our sales funnel in multiple stages, we will know exactly what is broken and what needs to be fixed and what doesn't. All we need to do is give it some time, right? I would recommend that you have at least 100 leads go through your sales funnel before you make any changes. That's copy changes, landing page changes, design changes. Before you make any changes, let 100 leads go through your sales funnel. Tip number 6 is adapt and adjust. Now that we've waited, now that we've had leads go through the system, we should see what parts are working and what's not. And because, like I said earlier, we built our entire sales funnel down into mini goals and mini outcomes, we really start to understand what areas are broken. For example, if you have tons of people clicking on your ad, but they're not registering, you have a disconnect between your Facebook ad and your registration page. Even if you look at the entire sales funnel and then you say, wow, our sales funnel is generating a lot of conversations. We're generating 20% of everyone that attends our webinar to get on the phone. That could be working great, but if you can't get enough people on your webinar in the first place, that's the part that you need to fix. So once we have enough data going through and we look at the different metrics for each of the mini outcomes within the entire sales funnel, we know exactly what to fix and what to fix first, and what not to touch because it might already be working. Now, tip number 7 is just make it better, right? Now that we've had data coming through, we understand what parts are broken and we go fix those, we can make it better over time. As more data keeps coming through, we're gonna be able to make more educated decisions. Far too often, we see people just set it and forget it, and that is not the case here. Yes, we're using marketing automation and tools to have these systems running while we sleep or while we're doing other things in our business so that we have leverage, but it's not a set it and forget it sort of thing. You want to always be checking back, looking at the metrics across the entire journey and continually making changes to make it better. So if you're going to be building a new sales funnel for yourself or for a client, follow these 7 steps and I promise you that your life will be a whole lot easier because you're going to have all the insight into what's actually working and you'll end up having a sales funnel that actually works. So if you found this video useful and you want to dive more into sales funnels, we got more videos coming in this series around the tools for sales funnels, examples of sales funnels, and a whole lot more. So if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, bang that notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. Until then, if you want to check out one of our other videos on our channel, totally do that. We'd love to have you, and we'll chat soon.